Hey everyone, Soundwave8084 here. Yes, I know I've been gone a while, but I'm back. And in this comparison time episode, we're going to take a look at the new Deluxe Class Kingdom Huffer. Alright, so let's move on to the box. It's the box right here that Huffer comes in. Again, Kingdom kills it, which is, in a good way, with the nice box art. You got a lovely artwork here of Huffer and robot and in vehicle mode. Now, the downside is you get to see less of the figure you're getting, so you can't tell if it has any problems or blemishes because a lot of stuff is just hidden by the box. But we do get this lovely box art, which I guess is a nice trade-off for that. He is deluxe class. Bottom of the box side, you get to see the overall Kingdom artwork, which is a mix of Beast Wars and G1. 14 steps. Gets you all the way around. And that's your box art here and box. So other things you get here with Huffer, you do get a trading card, which I think you can peel this off and becomes like a sticker. I got the Autobot Arc. You're not always going to get the character that's in the packaging. I think I've only actually got that one time, and that's when I got Dinobot, and I had a Dinobot card inside Dinobots. Other thing you get his big foldable instructions, but he's pretty self-explanatory, so we'll get to that in a minute. And you get Huffer as well, and he gets this gun right here, and you also have this piece here, which has some pegs that you can peg on his forearms. Becomes like a shield, an extra long hook, claw, something like that. And you also can store it back here on his back in robot mode. If you're not wanting to him to have it as that way, or you can just leave it off and put it to the side in a packaging in a drawer, some place where you will not lose it. So this is Huffer right here. You also get this gun right here. And I first got out of the package, I was like, holy crap, my gun is splitting. I'll zoom in so you can see. I thought there was like an error putting this together. Then as you look in the instructions, the gun actually splits apart. So when he's in his vehicle mode, each gun half can then tap into the vehicle mode. And honestly, I haven't actually split this apart yet. There we go. After you do that, you can apply it to the vehicle mode. It sort of makes like a bed for the back of the truck. Like you can actually put something in the bed of the truck. So that can be done as well. But just put it back together. You can see all these little bitty tiny pegs, all these little bitty tiny peg holes. You line that stuff up. The gun tabs right back together, and then you either hand it. Hey, Huffer's got a big gun, but we're not fighters like they are, Prime. But oh well, I got me a big freaking gun that I can blow them away with. Get over here. Yeah, playing with my toys. So it's very nice. I actually like his weapon. It's kind of cool looking, actually. It's molded in orange plastic and then painted like this gunmetal gray right here. And yes, of course, it does support blast effects. This little piece right here, so he can hold his gun with the blast effect. So it's pretty cool. Huffer was not always one of my favorite mini bots, but I did like the toy as a kid. I like the looks, the colors of them. I liked a lot of that, and I thought that was pretty cool looking. He just wasn't a toy that a character I really fell in love with or anything. Again, you can just take these pegs, peg it in his arm, and he can dodge that. He's like Captain America. This is my Huffer shield. Yeah. Alright, so Huffer, points of articulation. We'll hit that real quick before I get into more of the actual comparison time. It's not really a full-on review, I guess, but maybe I'll make it a mixture of both. Articulation, you get shoulders out to there. Head can 360 around. You gotta get your fingers around inside the backpack here. And a ward here, when you get them out of the package, this is actually collapsed down. Some of this hinge back here, like this. So it's really hugging his head and shoulders, and you can't really get your finger in there. You just have to work that up. Now, do it carefully because mine was very tight, the hinge back there. That gives you the clearance you need to get in there. Yes, clearance. That's it. Clearance. Yes. You do all that. So when you get them out of the package, just make sure you bring that up so you have that clearance. Roger. Watch your vector. All right, down to more articulation. You get a 360 waist swivel. Nice. It's got some resistance. It's not overly tight, but it's not loose. Hips can go out to there. Got some thick thighs, so it doesn't, hits his hips. Kick to the front, all the way back, a little more. Knee bends are excessive. That's because transformation will get you for that. He's got ankle tilts to there. I'm not going to force it anymore if it can go. Upper thigh swivel rotations there. Bicep swivels, elbow bends there. No wrist swivels. This is all one piece. The hands just fold up. And yes, you do kind of have visible hand syndrome in vehicle mode, but you just have to look at it from the back. So we'll see that in a little bit. So that is your articulation for Kingdom Huffer. Alright, so head sculpt here on Kingdom Huffer. I like it. I like it a lot. It's the eyes are a metallic blue. You just gotta get the light to hit it just right. There's no light piping. It's just painted. So if you can get the light, if I can pull this light without bringing it down, and you can see his eyes a little bit better. You can see there he's got metallic blue eyes. I usually don't have the light pointing down as much because it really glares off the white Transformers. The colors here, this is like a palish blue, purple, and then you get this purple color here, sort of lavender. It's actually a different color. On camera it shows it more like a blue. It's more of a purple in person. You got silver arms, orange here, silver down here, or actually kind of a gray plastic. So not bad. Some silver paint back here for the lights and stuff. I kind of wish they put the M on the truck mode, but I guess they couldn't do that now. But it's a nice looking Huffer. Details, sculpting, everything is beautiful on this figure. Honestly, I really, really like this Huffer. I am very surprised, pleasantly surprised by this figure. Now we'll compare some head sculpts. Here is the Mech Fans Toys Huffer, which was my stand-in. It's not a bad hip sculpt. It's a hip sculpt. Head sculpt. This head sculpt here, I can't talk. This head sculpt here looks a lot better in my humble opinion. Bringing in this figure, I can't remember which line this is from. I think it's Combiner Wars, but yeah, there's really no contest here. Well, the actual face isn't bad. The overly long head is just kind of horrible. And we'll get to more actual comparisons in a moment. But yes, this Huffer, I think, actually wins out on that. And then comparing it with G1 Huffer, totally different. But you can see where they kind of got the eye band mask here. It sort of matches the G1 look. Alright, some comparisons here with G1 Huffer in robot mode. Size is totally different. Of course, G1, they are true mini-mods, supposed to mimic actual, like, little penny racing toys. But here, you can see where they may have copied some stuff. Going for a little more of the cartoon look, just a little more detailed here. Next to Combiner Wars Huffer, I believe it's Combiner Wars, don't take my word for that one, but it's around that time. And yeah, that's the nook. Let's get the hell out of here. Next to Mech Fans Toys Huffer, which I really, really like. But you can see the scale difference is massive here. The Kingdom Huffer is a lot bigger. So if you have Kingdom Warpath, Huffer scales pretty close to him. So we'll take a look with some more of that in a moment. Next to War for Cybertron Netflix Bumblebee. You can say Bumblebee and Cliffjumper Hubcap, they're going to be the smaller of the mini-bots. You can see they are making the other mini-bots to be bigger, and that's pretty much how they were in the cartoons. Anyway, I'll go ahead and bring in Combiner Wars Power Glide, which is one of the mini-bots that I think needs an upgrade, definitely here. They need to make a new Power Glide sometime soon to really scale with these guys. I'll go ahead while I got him here. I'll bring in Kingdom Huffer, take Warpath out. As you see, Warpath is still bigger than Huffer, taller. The head is a lot taller now. The backpack, the cab of the truck actually goes slightly above the backpack and head of Warpath. But Warpath is still a bigger deluxe, a bigger mini-bot than Huffer, but Huffer does tower over Bumblebee and Cliffjumper. Alright, bring in Studio Series Deluxe Class Jazz and Earthrise Hoist, who in one episode actually rides inside the cab of Huffer. Yeah, sure. And next to Siege Optimus Prime, which is pretty much the same height as Earthrise Prime, so you can see how they scale there, how he scales with a Voyager class Optimus Prime. Alright, so Kingdom Huffer robot mode, I think the scale is fine. It's larger than Bumblebee, which I think it should be. It's shorter than Warpath, which I think it should be. Now, this is my opinion. Everybody's opinions are going to differ here, but I like the size of this guy. So, all right, so I'm going to do this transformation, but I will timestamp down below when I'm done with it if you just want to skip over the transformation to see the comparisons in vehicle mode. So first thing you want to do here, you want to turn his head around to face the back, so 180 that head around. You're going to come back here. You want to pull this down, bring this on this hinge down, and then you have these wheels right here. Now, this is a point of contention for me. These come down, little tab here, go right in that little slot. Now, these wheels are just pegged in through those little tabs. Do the same thing on this one here. Make sure this is down. His arm's kind of getting in the way. Now, when you try to do the reverse to transform back, you want to fold these up. These wheels can pop out pretty easily. I did that repeatedly because this tab's in pretty tight. So just be careful you don't actually snap some of those tabs off, and then the wheels will not go back in the way you want them to. So we're going to then fold this back up. And we're going to try to close it up as best we can. Now on this hinge back here where I showed you earlier, I just want to collapse this down, close it down like this. And we're going to bring his arms up. You see this little tab back here on the back of this. These little gaping holes back here are what's going to connect into that right there. So we want to bring this up. Then we want to spin this around to where the hands will be facing in. And this can then tab into that. So we want to, again, be able to turn them here, down, bring these up, spin the hands in, and then connect that down. And while you're doing that, you want to now fold the hands in. And that's where you kind of get your visible hand syndrome from the back of the vehicle. It doesn't really bother me so bad, but it is there, so it can be a nuisance to some people who can see that in vehicle mode that came out. So this piece comes down pretty easily, and it kind of bothers me. Alright, so coming down to the legs, grab this piece here, bring it up. This little tab here is going to go right here in this little slot. Same on both sides. Tabs, you can tab his legs together. Right there. And now it's just going to fold up like this. Also, I forgot to show you on his arms here, there's these tabs on his sides of his hips that will go into little slots on his arms. And those will now lock in. And you have transformed Huffer into his vehicle mode. It's a very simple transformation. Nothing too complex. Very simple. Very easy. Now you say take this right here. The three little smiley faces. Eye, nose, mouth. Looks like a teddy bear to me. Put this on. Tab that in. You got that back there. Then you can take his gun. Split this sucker in half. Alright, so after you split the guns, you want to take them. You want it to be gunmetal gray side facing inward, orange side facing outward. You see these little orange tabs here onto the claw part. You see these orange gaps. You know where I'm going with it. We're just going to lock in like that. Do the other side as well, and just put that one on. And you have now completed Huffer into a complete vehicle mode. So it's like a bed of a truck, but these things can be a little bit easy to pop off. Yeah, they don't want too much pressure, but you can knock this off pretty easily. You can just leave them off, leave the gun together. You can pick a peg hole and pick the gun in. Roll is really good. He does have painted tail lights. Thumbs up, Hasbro. Thank you for that. Everything else, the paint is nice. You got this clear blue translucent windows, which is this clear plastic on the inside. Very nice. Honestly, I got no complaints. I know this might bug some people. It doesn't bother me as much. I'm not really going to be looking for this angle that often, but it is there, and I can see where it would bother some people. So let's get to some comparisons in vehicle mode. Alright, so let's show him off or compare him in vehicle mode. Here is Kingdom Huffer. Here he is next to Combiner Wars Huffer. As you can see, the Kingdom Huffer is a lot bigger. Of course, he is a true Legends class from beforehand, and he is a deluxe vehicle, a lot smaller there. So we can roll him out of the way. Off screen, bring in G1 Huffer. Scale there is totally different, of course. But G1 Huffer, a classic mini-bot character. Roll him out of the way. Bring in Mech Fans Toys Huffer. This was, like I said, my stand-in, which actually scaled pretty close to these guys. You can see scale is way different. Here is, I think it's Titans Returns Brawn. You can see how it scales that. Brawn is another mini-bot that they need to remake. I think they should do him in the Studio Series 86 line. And hey, you can give him some kind of an explosive blast effect that will go through him. That'd be kind of cool. So then you got this scale right here. So whichever one you think will fit better into your current collections, Next to Cordon, which would be like Sunstreaker if you had a Sunstreaker. So you can see how he scales with a Lamborghini sports car. He is a lot taller, but Lamborghini is longer. Alright, next to Ironhide and Bugbite. Bugbite is, of course, size of Bumblebee and Cliffjumper. And you got Huffer is a lot larger than them. Put them to the side. Put them next to Ironhide, which is a larger van. Huffer is still kind of small, but I think he scales pretty well there with Ironhide. Ironhide is a bit longer, just by like half an inch, but Huffer stands his own with Ironhide. And next to Earthrise, Optimus Prime in vehicle mode. Now, that's one of the complaints that a lot of people had with Siege Prime, Earthrise Primes. When they transform in truck mode, they get a lot smaller. He actually compacts down pretty well. Prime expands more as he gets bigger, and he seems to be, he makes a good robot size. It makes a sort of small truck size. But I think this scale is okay next to each other. And of course, this Huffer here does have the gimmick where he's supposed to be able to tow the truck, the trailer from Earthrise. So we're going to remove this claw piece. We're just going to reveal all these little holes. And what you're going to do is take the back piece here, and you're just going to apply it to one of these, put that one here. And you can now tow this the trailer. And I believe this piece here is actually from Non-F, this black piece. But you take this off. So if you don't have the Non-F upgrade kit, you're going to have, if I get it off, this little gray piece here, which means you can now go one more further up onto Huffer. And I think that actually looks better on Huffer. But you want this little hingy piece here, as you can get the truck to get a little more sway movement on the Optimus Prime. It extends it away from the back, so the trailer would have more, more turning ability. But I think on Huffer, without this piece, it looks better than with it. And now for the big question everybody's asking themselves. Does Huffer fit in the back of Optimus Prime's trailer? I'm going to say no. So, but we'll do this anyway. No, he does not. You can get that part in. And pretend he came out of the trailer. So yeah, Huffer, he's a no-go for the back of the trailer. He can haul this thing. He just won't fit in this thing. Alright, so final thoughts here on my Kingdom Huffer and my comparison time / full review. I just went and combined it all. Why not? It's an excellent Huffer. I would say the best Huffer to date. I didn't compare him with Bad Cube's Huffer because I've sold that piece, which was probably the best Huffer made. But this Huffer here, for a mainline Huffer, is excellent. Beats out that Combiner Wars trash. Is better than MechFans Toys, as it gives you more articulation. It feels like a small deluxe. I can probably justify the $20 on this guy. Definitely, he seems to be a little bit less hollow than, say, Warpath. But he's got a more simpler transformation. It's an excellent Huffer. Love the truck mode. Really, really love the robot mode. And he does have more playability that he can actually, tow Prime's trailer around with him. So that is a cool little feature. It has a nice gun. The claw thing, which I really don't care about. So I recommend this Huffer to anybody who likes Huffer or who wants to get it. If you're interested in this figure and it's just piquing your interest even a little bit, I say dive in on this guy. It'd be well worth it. He's an excellent figure. I can't wait to hopefully they redo this guy into pipes. Thanks for watching. Until the next one. Peace out.